I forgot to open it before. Okay. Look a second, the Rambam Ilchot Shemitah v'Yof. Sefer Zraim, all the way there. Let's look a second. Good morning. I forgot to open it. Look at Shemitah v'Yof at the end.
Boker Tov, Boker Tov.
Boker Tov, Boker Tov. Look a second. Shemitah v'Yof. And looking at the end, you have it Perashat Gimel Halacha Yud. All the way in the back, you have it there. Halacha Yud, Yud Gimel Yud. כל שבט לוי מוזהרים שלא ינחלו בארץ כנען. שבט לוי did not share in the land of Israel, right? וכן הם מוזהרים שלא ייטלו חלק בביזה. Well, you have it הלכה י', הלכה י', it's all the way there, all the way there. It's the end of the book.
What page is 48? Okay.
וכן מוזהרים שלא ייטלו חלק בביזה בשעה שכובשים את הערים. The army normally takes the booty and shares it, שנאמר, לא יהיה לכהנים הלוויים כל שבט לוי, חלק ונחלה עם ישראל. What is חלק ונחלה? חלק ונחלה, חלק בביזה, the booty, ונחלה בארץ. brings another פסוק, וכן הוא אומר, בארצם לא תנחל, וחלק לא יהיה לך בתוכם בביזה. אוקיי. says the Rambam, הוא בן לוי או כהן שנטל חלק בביזה. If it does take some of the booty that the army took in a war, he gets 39 lashes. ואם נטל נחלה בארץ, and if he took land, it's a theoretical case, it says מעבירים אותו, איננה? The next page on top. Now, look a second now in Halacha.
If he takes land, what was it? What happens?
We take him away because every Shevet had to give them 4 places to.
Yeah, that was it.
Yehuda gave, Issachar gave, כל אחד. Now, look a second in Halacha Yud Bet. ולמה לא זכה לוי בנחלת ארץ ישראל ובביזתה? It's not fair that the Levim didn't get any piece of land. מפני שהובדל לעבוד את השם. They were separated to serve God. Because my father was a Levi, I was born a Levi, so I cannot ever continue. ולשרתו ולהורות, and to teach, דרכיו הישרים, ומשפטיו הצדיקים הרבים. שבט לוי is designated to teach to, שנאמר, יורו משפטיך עם משה רבינו, the end of ספר דברים, יורו משפטיך ליעקב, ותורתך לישראל. לפיכך, זה רמב"ם, הובדלו מדרכי העולם. They are removed from daily obligations that we as a society has. לא עורכים מלחמה כשאר ישראל. They're not part of the army like other Jews. ולא נוחלים, therefore they're not getting a piece of land. ולא זוכים לעצמם בכוח גופם. There's nothing they can get by the physical strength that they have if they go to fight. אלא הם חיל השם. The army of God, you know, Lubavitch likes to read himself. שנאמר, ברך השם חילו. ברך השם חילו. והוא ברוך הוא, השם, who is blessed, זיכה להם, gave them some small pieces of land, אני חלקך ונחלתך. So this is שבט לוי, doing David and Shlomo. Rambam continues.
This is Muhammad Mitzvah, even you think? It seems to be.
ולא, the Rambam should have said. ולא שבט, you cannot go out really to מלחמת מצווה unless you are trained. all year round, ולא שבט לוי בלבד, אלא כל איש ואיש מכל באי העולם, any Jewish person, אשר נדבה רוחו אותו והבינו, you have to understand Hebrew well, very, שנדבה רוחו, that his spirit volunteered him, והבינו מדעו, his logic tells him I have to be separated from the rat race of society, לעמוד לפני השם לשרתו ולעובדו, לדעת את השם, והלך ישר כמו שעשהו האלוהים, ופרק מעל צווארו עול החשבונות הרבים, הרי שנתקדש קודש קודשים. Okay. The Rambam says every person can become part of Shevet Levi, not as Maaser Rishon, but on the same concept. So this is the, nevertheless, in reality, one of the big differences, Joseph, between, so to say, this is, remember, it's a political division between the black hat yeshivot and yeshivot is there, is exactly that. In the 60s, Rav Kook, Rav Tzvi Yehuda Kook, all the settlers that we have today are his students. He used to tell his students, don't go to the army till 23, don't go to 18. To learn 4 years in yeshiva class because you have to become scholars. 23, 24, okay. His disciples already decided that, so they are going 18, but the only yeshivot is there are exact. The Talmidim of Rav Tzvi Yehuda are looking at the land of Israel as a gift of Hashem to the Jewish people. They say we have to serve. The others are saying we need real scholars. You cannot be a real scholar even if you learn the year and a half. You know how to read Mishnayot very nice, understand Gemara nice. So this is really the argument. And today it comes out and it's very painful to many. Many say continue. The argument really is on those who claim to learn. They should.
Yeah. Which is what? 80%? 30%? What is it?
If you look at the liberals, it's 101%. But if you look at the others, I'm sure, I don't know statistics. I'm sure they are. Of course they are. It's a very big problem. Especially when you face parents that are totally not religious. But now some of those realize that it's so out of. You realize Israel now is the most dangerous place for Jews to be. You do realize that, correct? You in America are afraid because of Israel. Israel was supposed to be the opposite. We are. The answer is this: Hashem is testing us. Hashem is testing us. You realize in the north it's far from. It starts. So yes, 60,000 people cannot sleep at night at home. They have to be all over Israel. Whether the state is defending the people, no?
And they are fighting inside.
I'm laughing. This is life. You have very good people volunteer all the
Never
time.
mentioned in the news, by the way.
What?
Never mentioned in the news that 60,000 people are displaced. Never mentioned.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But the answer is Israel is a democracy. This is the price we pay for democracy. You cannot have a dictatorship.
And when the PR war, you see the picture in the Times, they left the hospital and they show all the rubble with devastation. You see a woman sitting on the rubble crying.
Right. The New York Times.
You see a woman sitting on the rubble crying.
I had yesterday a sister of a guy who was a captain. She says, my blood pressure went up when I saw my brother's picture in the demonstration Saturday night. My family is against everything the protesters say. How can you use my brother?
Yeah, exactly.
50% of what they do is for their own political. The answer is it's a democracy now. You cannot tell a man don't hold my brother's picture. I want my brother's picture. You're not aware. So see, especially if we are very influenced by the media. It's look, we went together. We saw those people who are taking care of the dead, and I mean, you can say they're not fighting in the army, but someone takes body, someone. No, Joseph raised the question before. This is why we look. Look at Masechet Psachim. It's mainly an emotional argument. It's difficult to say. I cannot force you to think like me. There is a history here, okay?
Moshe sent Pinchas out to war, though, right?
Right, but over there, it says over there, yes. He was why? Because he is a grandson of, Look a second, you have Masechet Pesachim in front of you. Now, Ayin Bet Hamud Bet. We started yesterday to look at a similar Gemara in Makot. Ayin Bet Hamud Bet. Please look at the bottom of the page, the wide lines. You have the wide lines. You see the first line, the first word in the line is Tinokot somewhere. Tinokot.
Yes.
You have it's 2,
It's about 10
4,
lines from the
6, 8,
bottom.
right, about 10 lines. Ve'ela kerab Yoshua de Truma. You have it there, it's the middle of the line, Jeff. You have it? David, you have it, David, about 10, 11 lines.
Starts with Tinokot at the beginning, and then
Detnan,
first word is Tinokot.
the first
10
word
lines
in the
up.
line.
In the middle of the
Ve'ela
line,
kerab Yoshua de Truma. Detnan. היה אוכל בתרומה, כהן is eating תרומה, listen carefully. ונודע שהוא בן גרושה או בן חלוצה. We found out unfortunately that his mother was a divorcee, his father is a Kohen, he's labeled as a halal. רבי אליעזר אומר, מחייב קרן וחומש. Rabbi Eliezer says to the Kohen, now you are definitely not a Kohen. The same as a regular Jew that ate accidentally teruma, he has to pay the value plus a fifth. You have to pay the Kohanim the value, let's say 10 pounds of grapes, $10 plus a fifth. Fine.
He's chayav mitabidei shamayim. He's not chayav
No,
I'm saying, but he's not chayav korban.
No,
But
teruma, by teruma, there's no, but mitabidei shamayim, there's no korban.
Okay.
Rabbi Yoshua poter. Real? Rabbi Yoshua says no, he's patur. Why is he patur? So look, skip a line. Look now to 6 lines from the bottom. The first word in the line is achshav. Detnan. Remember, first we have a machloket tanaim. Like this is a Mishnah in Terumot. Mishnah. Rabbi Eliezer says he's a regular Jew. He has to pay. To pay like a regular Jew that paid Truma b'shul. Rabbi Yeshua says no. The Gemara explains Rabbi Yeshua Detnan. Listen to this. היה עומד ומקריב, the Kohen offered קורבנות, ונודע שהוא בן גרושה, בן חלוצה. Listen to this. כל הקורבנות, כולם, שהקריב על גבי המזבח, פסולים. This is Rabbi Eliezer. Right. Rabbi Eliezer says retroactively you're never a Kohen. So let's say if it's today, the korbanot that you offered in the morning should be re-offered.
What morning? How about all the years? He's going ahead for
No,
10
but
years.
you cannot tell the korbanot. I'm saying
If you're going to make
today.
a statement, if you're going to make a statement, you're going to make.
It means kol korbanot. I brought it into a practical level, which I said today. All the korbanot in the last 18 years are pasul. Rabbi Yoshua machshir. You see the small vav near machshir, and this is the halacha.
Right, we brought a pasuk.
The halacha is here. The Gemara brings now. We saw yesterday. Okay, someone took mostly what va'amrinan. Ma'ita amad Rabbi Yoshua. Va'amrinan ma'ita amad Rabbi Yoshua that says that b'diavad the korbanot are kasher. Dichtiv barech Hashem chaylo ufo al yadav tirtzeh. Barech Hashem chaylo, Hashem should bless whatever he is doing. So the Gemara learns even the korban, even though retroactively we know that you are halal. Okay. Later we'll see why is this pasuk brought here. Yesterday we saw 3 pasukim. Now the Gemara wants to say that according to Rabbi Yoshua, that says that the korbanot are kosher, the Rabbi Yoshua machshir. ואמרינן, מה הייתה עמד רבי יהושע? אמרינן גדל, ברך השם חילו, ופועל ידיו תרצה. ותרומה, Heicha Ikri Avodah, which means the same Rabbi Yoshua that says that the Avodah but the Avad is kosher, so he doesn't have to pay for the Terumah. And you realize this is a jump of the Korbanot he did in Beit HaMikdash. Chaylo means whatever he accomplished. Here he ate Terumah. Did he accomplish anything? He ate Terumah. ותרומה איכה יקרא עבודה. נתניה, מעשה ברבי טרפון שלא בא אמש לבית המדרש. רבי טרפון was a Kohen. He didn't come to בית מדרש last night. וצהור רבן גמליאל אמר לו, מפני מה לא באת אמש לבית המדרש? Why didn't you come? אמר לו, listen good, עבודה עבדתי. I'm a Kohen. I did the service of a Kohen. This is at night. אמר לו, כל דבריך אינה אומרת דברי תימה. How can you say you did the service of a Kohen? וכי עבודה בזמן הזה מניין, me and you live, it's not בית המקדש. What did you do last night? Did you say? אמר לו, says רבי טרפון דכהן, הרי הוא אומר, עבודת מתנה אתן את כהונתכם, והזר הקרב מומד. Look at the Rashi, the first Rashi on top. Like the next page, Rashi on the first line of Rashi on top. עבודת מתנה, says Rashi, מתנות כהונה שנתתי לכם, הרי הם כעבודה. Which means the truma that I ate last night, or the זרוע לחיים וקיבת, until today, the sincerely kosher butcher slaughterhouses give Kohanim certain parts of every animal in the slaughter. It says, for me, this is avodah. How do I know? Because the Torah in Perashat Korach says, avodat matana etel et kehunatchem. And it says, v'hazar hakarev, a stranger that does it, you mat. Asur achilat truma bigvulim. Eating teruma in tzfat, yes, כעבודת בית המקדש, as if a Kohen is eating a korban in בית המקדש. Says Rabbi Tarfon, last night there's no בית המקדש, but the halachot of teruma and maaser still apply. So last night, he and his family was busy doing this quote unquote avodah. To us, it sounds strange.
How is that practiced today, Rabbi? You're saying just now,
It's not being practiced.
it's not.
Because you and me and everyone is tameh, so you cannot touch the woman.
So he was able to be tahor even though the Beit HaMikdash, he still had the ability to be tahor.
Most of the Tanaim were very careful
during-
not to become tameh. I know today people are very careful not to become tameh, but they cannot help it. But they would never go to a funeral. They try to never go visit anyone in the hospital. This is the reason, yeah.
Don't you have to have para adumot to get clean?
No,
Yeah.
no, if you are definitely tameh, then you purify.
They avoid getting tamei.
They are avoiding to becoming tameh. The reason I'm tameh is because I went to hundreds of funerals and I went to the hospital hundreds of times. Yes. Otherwise, think for a minute. Just when did you become tameh? You travel.
Touch the animal, you touch the.
No, the only paraduma is only if you tameh from a met, from a Jewish met. They're very careful not to travel in Israel in places that are. If it's not major highways, theoretically it's possible.
went to cemetery.
You don't, so you don't have.
No. You're saying, of course.
Very default.
I actually touched the boy when
You don't-
I was a kid
you
in
don't-
Katan. The mailman passed
You don't-
away on my porch.
Oh, but you get
And I
it.
remember,
No,
you
you're
know,
right. We don't
putting
do
the weight
that.
up, I was going through Shabbat morning.
Wow.
I maybe it was 10 years old.
Unbelievable.
I opened the door and the guy is lying on my porch.
Dear Joseph, when he was a kid, a mailman dropped dead
Oh,
on
my porch.
his porch.
Kill them?
I killed him. I had
No, I
a
didn't
patient,
go.
and the next bed to me, next to me, would occur, passed away, Jewish person, passed away right there. That's
Look at the Rashi now. Look at the Rashi at the previous page
And I
at the
had wires,
bottom.
where am I going?
Look
I
at the
went to
previous.
lobby, it didn't help.
Look at the previous page at the bottom.
Your question from yesterday, it was interesting. I don't,
I'm preparing the ground. But what do you think I'm doing here? You're like, this is a regular class. You're like, yes.
Yeah, we have ADD, it's the DNA, can't
No,
help
but it's part of the fun. But by the end of the day, look at the Rashi. This Rashi is essential. ועבודה של חלל בשוגג, hear this? רחמנה הכשרה. And look at the Rashi before the Ikra Avoda Achilata. So listen carefully, Rabotai. The original machloket was by Korban. Then the Gemara is extending it to Truma. And the Gemara says the same pasuk that, so to say, makes kosher the Avodah of the Kohen Halal, says the eating the Truma is also. I read the Gemara with you. Now look, only the Rambam.
What do you think about eating the teruma? What is like you said? What's the other?
Oh, so this is why Rashi says Achilata, eating the truma. If you eat the truma the way you're supposed to eat it, for you, Ta'ul is like an avodah. Oh, in a minute you'll see
I thought it's just a benefit. It's just the perks of the job.
Now,
Not that it's a mitzvah itself.
Okay, let's go now. Only the Rambam can do it, but the Rambam does it, of course, as always. Look at the Rambam in Chot Terumot. Let's go. Take Zraim, Rambam Zraim.
Is it a penalty that's forgiven, or it's not even a penalty?
We'll
Is it amnesty? You know what?
We'll see.
Person has a summons, they give amnesty.
Look at the Rambam. I highlighted it. Zraim, Sefer Zraim. Oh, you're Zraim. Oh, the same Rambam you're here. Good.
Yeah.
Perek Yud Milchot Zraim, Harry.
Ilchot Trumot, you mean?
Sefer Zraim, Milchot Trumot, Perek Yud, Halacha Yud Bet. I highlighted it here.
That's not it.
So it's another Rambam.
Jojo, kill me. I might.
This is the question. Well, this is the same question.
Why would I do you?
Because you always tell me like, what's the point?
Look at it. Remember.
That's a safek, that's the rabbi said, because it's Lapara.
Very good.
Perek Yud Halacha Yud Bet. Before we read now, as Eli says, let's not interrupt before.
Is that possible?
Well, yesterday we had an interesting question that happens. It happened in the past, what happened in the future. A fellow from a very prestigious family in Israel found out that his mother or his grandmother were divorcee, which means he's not a Kohen. Okay, the shock is a shock, obviously. But the question is, says many people came to do Pidyon Haben by him.
Oh,
Wow. Is he obligated to pay the money back? A, B, should he notify the
Rabbi Prague.
Yes.
What happens if I'm a Nazir and I'm in the middle of my 30 days and I find out that I did, or I'm ready at the end and I don't know that I was a metame to a mate or something?
There's the Chumash in Perashat Naso.
You have to start over?
You listen carefully. You have to shave your head. You have to bring 2 korbanot.
Yeah.
Start again. Vayamim harishonim yiplu, and then you start again. Exactly.
This is on the safek.
Exactly. No, you said badar.
No, he said safek.
Are you sure that you are tameh or not?
No, you find out in the middle of your Nazirut that you come from.
It's a very complicated case because you cannot shave if you're not sure.
I understand. I thought he meant safek.
He said he
Clear
found
if
it.
he's not
So
alive.
it's a separate.
Because the Rambam brings that question. The Rambam brings the question. He'll get Nazirut.
We're losing track now. We have to go
Look,
back
look,
to it.
look.
We only have a few minutes.
Anyway, the question is, what's the question? I want you to realize before we go to the Rambam now.
Is the child
Everyone understands that the Korban, the Torah says, Barech Hashem Chelo. The Korban is a Korban. Good. The question now is, Pidyon Haben is not a Korban. If you're born with the DNA of a Kohen, a father of a Bechor gave you the money, yes?
Is it stealing?
No,
He's getting money for services not rendered.
First, we're obligated to return. Shouldn't we
And
say
it's the
that
penalty.
for the same reason that all the many korbanot that you offered are kosher, the
Maybe-
pidyon haben that you got or not? The korbanot are a special pasuk.
Yeah.
But this pidyon haben is, if so now I started today with the Gemara in Pesachim that says that if the Kohen ate the teruma according to Rabbi Yoshua, is not punished. Comes the Rambam and he says he's not punished partially, but of course he is punished. Look at the Rambam. Perak Yud Halacha Yud Bet. Punished is the wrong word, but look at the Rambam Halacha Yud Bet Lari. Approximately 8 lines into the Rambam, but you it's 2 lines before Perak Yud. This is Shmita Yud. So Trumot, Rambam Ilchot Trumot, Perak Yud Halacha Yud Bet. That's it's right there. You have it? But a few lines before the bottom. Oh, you're lucky because I put yeah. Right here. V'chen Kohen, Larry, you have it in Halacha.
Yes, I have it. Shaya ochel v'noda. Yes.
וכן כהן שהיה אוכל יהיה תרומה, ונודע שהוא בן גרושה או בן חלוצה. The Gemara that we just saw. And the Gemara says that if the עבודה in בית המקדש is kasher, so is תרומה. This is the Rambam. הרי אלו משלמים את הקרן בלבד. Says the Rambam, of course you have to pay the Kohanim the money because you are non-Kohen.
Took the money.
You took the money that belongs to the Kohanim. The only leniency we give you is
no penalty.
no fifth, no penalty.
No penalty.
Says Rabbi Yitzchak Elchanan Spector. What?
Because you didn't know.
Right. They didn't know, but no, the point is they used to pay. Why? Says Rabbi Yitzchak Elchanan Spector, what's the logic of the Rambam? I mean, first.
And what about the babies?
What about the
Wait, let's first define the Rambam.
Oh, yeah.
Let's define. Why is he giving back the money? Because be'emet you are non-Kohen.
It didn't work.
The avodah in Beit HaMikdash is a special pasuk. It's good.
So it's your Shemini Klal, the Korban.
It's only.
Limited. Nothing else you're gonna say.
Says the Be'er Yitzchak. Of course, he has to give back the money of Pidyon Abel, and of course the parents. Of course, the parents have to redeem again. The same logic of Truma. This is what I want to say. If you realize that, according to the Rambam, there's no way out.
How are you gonna find these oldest people?
No.
It's practically.
They have records.
What
They have
What
records.
do is the guy really a Kohen? The guy
So
Have records.
the book that discusses it,
They have records.
he like gives a very interesting practical thing. Listen carefully. I found out that I'm not a Kohen, and let's have a list. I have 25 Bechorim. I'll go to Eli. I'll go to Rani and I would say, here is $1,000 that I received on behalf of all the Bechorim.
Oh.
Now the parents don't have to do it anymore.
No.
I got rid of the
Build them
money.
out.
You realize? I'm coming to him. I have a list of all the Pidyon Abel that I did.
So you're like a shaliach.
Here is the money.
Very good. So
It's
you're
a brilliant idea to save this particular Kohen from public embarrassment.
It's like a bail. Bailing out.
No, but you realize,
Yeah, but Rabbi-
and he's not causing any
Rabbi,
damage
so
to
the
the
Kohen himself
Bechorim.
doesn't have to pay.
This
The
is the
Rabbi is
point.
giving him a gift.
The father doesn't have to. No, it's not only a gift. He's returning money really that is not his.
Yeah, correct.
But by doing that, he is he is redeeming all the Bechorim.
And they have records, like my late brother-in-law, they didn't know his actual birthday, but then Halab, they kept a record of every B'di Milah. They looked at the date of Milah, they know what day it was
See,
born.
Joseph, this is why communities.
Read that here.
Also,
Where-
Cham Yaakov Kassin kept a list of every single wedding ever.
Of course. Have a nice day. I'll see you
Rabbi,
tomorrow.
have a great day, Rabbi.